what are you finding with Airbnb? Because there's a lot of controversy with Airbnb, whether that be taking off the market, driving up the housing, but you're competing almost with hotels. So you're a competitor to Airbnb. What are your thoughts on that?
There's a certain market of people that like Airbnbs. Unfortunately, I do a lot of consulting, and a lot of people have been calling me lately, unfortunately, saying, hey, they bought Airbnbs, and their rights to rent them were taken away by the local municipalities. Yep. I mean, they're ruined. They overpaid for the property. It's not worth the same.
So they're buying these properties. I thought a lot of the Airbnbs are just subleasing. They lease from the landlord and then put it on Airbnb and profit the difference. But to buy an Airbnb is stupid.
A lot of people bought them.
That's
a lot of people bought condos. A lot of people bought houses. And now, listen, you're running an Airbnb. You're running a little mini hotel. And it all depends. Are you running it? Is there a host running it? There's still a lot of work to be done. The money you're making on Airbnb, you're earning. If you're the one renting them out and coordinating with the guests and getting the cleaning done and getting the repairs done, if not, there's a cost to paying somebody. Listen, everything can work if you buy something right. You got to buy it at the right price. You buy things at the right price, and you should always be successful. So, but Airbnb, I think it had its big boom. It's still going to always be around. And it took a lot of money out of the hotel business. That's a fact. Okay. But I think it's gone down. And you got to be very careful in investing in them.
So what do you tell people if they bought a property for Airbnb, they're losing a ton of money, they can't rent it out anymore, and they can't cash flow it by renting it on a normal lease? What do you tell them? What's your advice?
I mean, everybody's got a different situation. The first thing I would say, listen, can you get out of it at a break even? Can you sell that property? Maybe there's been some appreciation in that particular housing market in that area. What's the property worth if you put it on the market tomorrow? How much did you pay for it? Okay. And if you are going to take a loss, what is that loss compared to the loss you're going to have sitting on it for another year not making any money? You got to look at every factor of the whole equation. And then maybe you have some gains somewhere else where you can offset some losses. Listen, I just sold a whole bunch of stock, and I was very unhappy about it because it's the end of the year. And my accountant said, listen, in 2023, even though things were bad, you made some money, okay? You sold some properties. You got some major gains here. You need to take some losses. So I had to sit down, and I just said, okay, well, the only place I can get any losses at is sell off some of the stock that's been beaten down 20 and 30%. I could always buy it back after 31 days. You know that. Mm-hmm. You could sell something. Like, let's say I sold a mutual fund the other day. I sold it, I think it was about 20% down, which I think is a great time to buy now, but I'm already in it. I sold it, I took the loss, so now I get all the loss I had. All right, let's say it was $1 million. If it was $1 million when I bought it and I got a $200,000 loss on it now, I could sell it. I take the $200,000 loss to offset $200,000 worth of gains, and then if I really think it's going to come back and I could buy it back 31 days later, and here I am in the same boat with the $200,000 loss that I took. And $200,000 on a capital gain is pretty much $40,000 in taxes that I would have had to pay the government. I mean, these are the things you got to think about. Everybody's got their own investments, their own situation. You got to do what's logical. Everything's based on logic in my brain.